You alright guys, how's it going? It's David Clayton from KZR Racing once again, and welcome back to my F1 Manager 22 career mode for round number 5 of Season 2 at the Miami Grand Prix. If you guys did miss the last episode, do feel free to check out my channel. The playlist will be there, along with all the other episodes leading up to this point. A few little bits of admin to go through before we go into the Grand Prix. Race recap from Emilia Romagna in regards to Vettel, braking and... yeah, a lot of the race engineers are coming back with braking cooling, engine cooling, sorry, braking for Vettel, but engine cooling is the main thing. I did, during development, put more emphasis on performance than I did the cooling of the cars, but at the moment, it's paying off at the moment, but I know for a fact that now the aerodynamics thing has reset, and the regulations for next year. Sorry, my mind drew a blank there. The regulations for next year have come through for the high-speed downforce. We're going to be splitting our resources over the next few races to mitigate those issues. But for the moment, we've got board inform you the board is satisfied with your recent work. Yep. Last episode, guys, we were nearly on for another good result with Gasly. He was running in 4th on the penultimate lap before he eventually, unfortunately, locked up and went straight on at Variante Alta and dropped back to 8th. So, bit of a shame, but we are roughly where we want to be in the mix with the Alpines, McLarens, and the Alfa Romeos at the moment. So it's just a question of making sure we keep up with development with those guys to finish where we want to in the championship. So at the moment, we've got a few little bits and pieces and that. Monthly car development. Oh, wow, we're really dropping back now. Yeah, we're down to 17th on medium speed, 15th on high speed. We're still not good on top speed and acceleration. We're still a really draggy car at the moment. And, yep, there's the ATR period. So that's all done. The memorabilia room needs refurbishing. That's 150k. That's no problem at all. So now we got to go to the cars. Car development, new project. We're going to get the first project underway, which is the research. No regulation change. Yeah, it's all down. It's all in regards to the downforce. So we're going to start with the underfloor first. So we want to do... I want to try and split this up a little bit more evenly so we got more to work with. So we want if we do this for, because it was 29, so we want 15 hours ideally. Actually, no, screw that. We'll do what we've been doing the whole time. So we'll do, whoops, a little too fast. So we want 29 on here. And then we want to go to here, high speed. Yeah, high speed, drag, and little bit of airflow sensitivity just to make sure we don't suffer for it. We'll put 5 engineers on that for 1 million. Let's get that one underway. Now, the design. So we are currently lacking in high speed and mainly medium speed actually. So let's have a think about this. We're still a draggy car as well, which is really annoying. Let's work on the downforce for now, and we'll do the drag reduction stuff we'll do the drag reduction stuff towards the end of the season, because that's not actually changing. So focusing on the drag reduction towards the end of the season will probably be a lot more beneficial in the long run for next season, because we want to do this now to try and maintain our how competitive we are at the moment. But by the same token, we don't want to end up what's the word? We don't want to end up underperforming at that stage in the season against all the midfield teams, considering how close that is. So at the moment, we're just going to focus on the downforce for now, but we will 31st of May, intense 50. So 15th of June, 31st of May. Get it in as soon as possible. That's the mantra of what we're trying to do here. And then we will do the rear wing this time. And then put the rest of the focus on that. And then go here. And then just bump everything up. Then do a little bit here. So that's about equal there. So this is more, that's a little bit more the sort of thing. So we're going to get the rear wing a day after the front wing, but doing it this way on rushed, because rush on intense you don't get any improvement in how many you any improvement if you do intense as opposed to normal. You're just spending more money for nothing. So simpler to just go with the rushed principle, because you get everything you want then. So if we go to the calendar, the design for the front wing will be complete, and then as you can see on the first, the rear wing will be complete, and that'll actually be just in time for Monaco. So that'll actually give us a little bit of wiggle room to play with there. We're not gonna get anything for Spain, so now for Miami and Spain we're going to be as we are, but Monaco onwards, which is Monaco, Azerbaijan and Canada, and at the end of Canada is when the R&D period opens again. So that will give us something to prepare for. In the meantime, when is the research being complete? Okay, that's when the underfloor research is being completed. So wow, that's quite a while actually. We'll have to see how it goes later on, because it's actually taking a lot longer than what I thought it was going to take. So we'll have to keep an eye on that and see how that goes. But for now, skipping through, the memorabilia room has been refurbished. So that's now back up to where it should be. And then, yep, not much else to do except go through all the race prep. So review targets. If we do well in this one, we complete our qualifying hot streak. So we'll go Q2 on that. And then that should, if we get past this should give us a little bit more money to play with. So without any further ado, let's go through the practice now for the Miami Grand Prix. Okay, same as what we've been doing before. Heavy rain during Saturday as well, so I'm not too sure if that's going to be practice or qualifying. It'd be a bit worrying, to say the least. Considering what happened at Emilia-Romagna, I'm not going to put Jack in this time. I'm going to leave that for Spain. and I'll swap him out with Pierre Gasly then, just to make it a little bit fairer. So let's go to practice 1 and simulate the session. Skip through, and yep, you can tell it's a high-speed track. We are going to be in for a long one this one. Sebastian is only just ahead of the Williams, whereas Gasly is struggling a little bit to crack the top 10 as he normally has been. So it's going to be a bit touch and go. They're about the same on track acclimatisation and setup confidence, so we'll have to see what we can do here for practice 2. Let's start with Sebastian. Wow, way off on cornering and straights, so give me a moment to try and sort this one out, guys. Okay, we'll give this a go for Sebastian. We've gone from one extreme to the other with the rear wing, actually. That may be a little bit too extreme. So if we do about there, and then anti-roll bar here, and then cornering, and we'll try that for Sebastian. That'll be better medium ground. Cornering, I can tell, is probably going to be a bit of an issue to try and sort that out. So let's actually make sure we got enough tyre usage out of these hard tyres. And now for Gasly. Wow, that's going to be... give me a minute, guys. Okay, we've got it here for Gasly. Again, another medium ground just to see how well we stand. So do the usual pleasantries, and then we will come back at the end of practice 2 and see how well the setup has gone for both guys. Okay, now we're at the end of Q2. We're all the way down near the bottom, but then again, I sent them both out on the hard tyres and just used that one set of tyres throughout the whole practice, sorry, just to get their track acclimatisation and zero in on the setup. So that's not representative of what we can do. We're at 89 for Sebastian, 79 for Pierre, so we're doing pretty well there. So we will skip through to here. Let's see what Sebastian is saying. Good 3 optimals are great and a good. So honestly, I'm kind of tempted just to leave Sebastian as is. I don't want to mess around with that too much, so I'll stick him on a set of mediums, just to get him to zero in on the setup a little bit more, and then we can finalise it on the second run. So let's do that. Pace mode light, and then we'll go over to Pierre and let's see what he's saying. Still optimal overs there, good, 3 goods. So let's see what we can do here. Okay, a few little tweaks for Pierre, nothing too major, just to try and there we go, that's about right. Just try and keep the optimal on the oversteer, but just mainly braking stability, cornering, traction, just trying to fine-tune those to get them right. So put them on mediums. And then lights. So we'll go to the end of practice 3 and see how well the guys have done. And that is the end of practice 3. Again, don't read too much into these times. I literally just bolted a set of soft tyres on them and sent them out for quick laps. 100% track acclimatisation on both. 89 for Sebastian, 88 for Pierre. I got them pretty close, so I didn't want to mess around with them too much. So we'll head into qualifying now. It's going to be this is going to be intermediates as well. So yeah. We'll skip through towards the end of qualifying 1 because this is going to take a little while, guys. So we'll skip through to the end of qualifying. qualifying 1 and see how well the guys stack up. Okay, we got to the end of Q1 on the inters. It did dry out towards the end, but both guys, I would have gone out on second set. I would have gone out on a set of soft tyres, but we didn't have enough time to do it. No one improved though, because they all went out on intermediates again when the track was bone dry. So I don't know what any of them were thinking, but anyway, there's the guys that are out. Both the Williams. Bottas is out surprisingly, along with Zhou and Hulkenberg. So we'll go through into Q2 with the same, hopefully the same plan, and we'll see how things go. Just got to the end of qualifying 2, guys, and we were able to get on dry tyres for the end of this one and got both Gasly and Vettel into Q3. And I don't know what's going on with the 2 Red Bulls and Sainz, but Sainz is finished, Perez is finished, and dare I say it, Verstappen is going into the pits. So Red Bull and Ferrari on Sainz's side have completely messed that one up in regards to the rainfall, and they are all out in Q2. So this is first time we got both of them into Q3, but that is going to be devastating. Sainz was the fastest in Q1. He was the fastest driver, but none of them, all 3, Verstappen, Sainz and Perez, got completely caught out and didn't go onto the dry tyres. So their loss is our gain. So both of ours are through into Q2, along with both Mercedes, both Alpines. Magnussen, Leclerc top the timing, Stroll, and of course Albon still manages to somehow follow us through. No matter what I do, I just can't seem to get him to leave me alone for some reason. But we're now going to go into Q3. We've got plenty of soft tyres available now because most of the running has been done on the intermediates. So we'll stick both guys on their scrub sets to get their first times in. Bolt on a fresh set for the final shootout, and we'll see how they all stack. We'll see how we stack up for the race tomorrow. So let's get into it. Right, up to the end of the final runs in Q3. Vettel hasn't improved in the second sector. Gasly, meanwhile, is improved in both sectors, but for now we're just going to watch Vettel as he comes across the line. Ignore the fuel as Sebastian is going to get the slipstream, follows Magnussen to the line, and he improves up to 9th. Gasly, meanwhile, out the final corner he comes, and he goes up to 4th. That's great showing from Gasly. Albon and Alonso, I believe they finished their respective runs. Yeah, because they're up the road from us. And Albon, he started the lap first. So Vettel managed to improve while following Magnussen. But Pierre Gasly, great 4th place. That's the best qualifying that we've had so far, ever. Only pipped out by, of course, the 2 Mercedes, Hamilton ahead of Russell, and Leclerc, uncontested to pole position thanks to his teammate and the Red Bulls being caught out in Q2. So great position for Pierre to find himself in. So there's the qualifying order. Leclerc from Hamilton, Russell, Gasly on the front 2 rows. Then Alonso, Magnussen, Ocon, Stroll, Vettel and Albon round out the top 10. So we'll skip through.
It's race day with the teams and drivers.
We'll skip through to the screen and we will go onto the strategy menu. Again, we're not going to do anything too funny with the guys. So, it's going to be a bit tight on tyre wear from the looks of it. Yeah, it's going to be a bit tight on tyre wear, so we're going to have to pay attention to that. Safety car could easily force that into a 2-stop, so we'll have to take note of that. So we'll put Sebastian on strategy A. We'll do the same for Pierre, but I know Pierre is a little bit harder on his tyres. So we'll have to see how that goes between them. So we'll put them both on the same strategy. We'll call them in as and when we need to. So, yeah, nothing too fancy with the strategy. Let's bump them up all the way on the fuel. Go to driving options, fuel usage, and then we'll go deploy off the start. And then we'll do the same for Gasly. Bump up the fuel. And then attack and deploy at the start. Actually, no, for Pierre, we'll go... Yeah, we'll go overtake out the gate for Pierre. And we'll just go deploy for Sebastian. Actually, no, we might do the same for Sebastian. So, go here and overtake. So now, all that's left to do is to go to the grid for the Miami Grand Prix.
Now we should have good weather for the race, and that will be welcome news for the teams. And there we have Pierre Gasly. A top 10 position today, but will they be able to capitalise on it? And for the second driver, it's Sebastian Vettel. With a top 10 position on the grid, this race could really go either way for them. Will their hard work pay off today? One of the newest races in F1.
And here we are, green flag at the back of the grid, 5 red lights to the Miami Grand Prix. And we are away, here we go.
And away we go.
So let's watch Gasly. Does he get a good start off the line? He doesn't quite, he gets a good start. He manages to keep ahead of, the Alpine and the Haas behind him. So we'll put them both back down to where they are.
That's it.
Vettel has indeed gained a place. He's actually got past Stroll off the line, so that's a great start from him. So we'll follow these guys. As you can see there, it'll be a off the start, down the inside into turn 1, and then hangs it around the outside. Stroll has started on the hard tyres as well, so that's probably a contributing factor to it. So that's a good point. So yes, an even spread. Half the field has started on hards, including Russell. Along both the Alpines have started on the hards, so Vettel should have an advantage over Ocon to get past him at some point. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Russell starting on the hards. The guys who went out in Q1, Perez, Verstappen and Sainz, they're on the hards. Bottas is on the hards. So yeah, fairly even spread there. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. No need to make any drastic moves just yet. We're only at the start of the race, so we'll let the guys do their thing for the first couple of laps. You can tell Russell's on the hards. Gasly is right up behind him already. So let's see if we can get Gasly to go on the attack.
Do everything you can.
No, not quite.
Yeah, take it easy.
So, yeah, the hard tyres have definitely shown up right there, because Gasly under normal circumstances would be nowhere near Russell like this. So, as you can see, Ocon as well has dropped away from Magnussen. So, kind of, I'll need to put the emphasis on Vettel here, actually, to try and get past Ocon as quickly as possible. So, as you can see, he's all over the back of Ocon. Those hard tyres are really not doing good. So, looking at that, ooh, I'm wondering what it's going to be like for us during that second half of the race. So we're going to try and get Vettel on the move, get him on overtake and attack. He's right up behind Ocon. Shifts from left to right. Can you get alongside towards the end of the back straight? Ocon dives to the outside, and is he just... No, Sebastian's managed to get his nose in, and through this section, he's got it. up into P8, P7, I believe that is now. Yes, it is. So, great stuff there. We managed to get Vettel ahead of Ocon before DRS, which is a definite added bonus there.
Let's have a look here. This was
So, yeah,
Gasly's
Vettel
mark.
just managed to poke his nose through that right-hander, and that gave him the line to swing around the outside into the stadium, this
Gaining a
little
position there.
stadium section
Not
here,
make It looks so easy.
and up into P7.
The driver's team
So Sebastian's still got that racer's instinct on him, but this has definitely helped him because now he's got a shot to get back up to the back of Magnussen, which he will do in the braking zone, hopefully. He does a little bit, not a lot. He's unfortunately still out of DRS range, so DRS is now enabled. He's now back in DRS range, so hopefully, if Vettel can just stick with Magnussen in DRS, especially if Magnussen, as you can see, is having a look at Alonso, that's going to make Vettel's life to keep up a little bit easier. But now we have DRS. Russell is not within range of Hamilton. So here we go. Out of this long left-hander, overtake mode, full attack. This should be a slam dunk for Pierre as soon as he gets the DRS, which he does now. Russell still blocking as best he can. Gasly, though, is going to go to the outside, just as Sebastian did. And he is going to swoop round the outside. We're going to leave him on overtake, but he's going to have the line through here and up into P3. It's a fantastic move from Pierre. So Pierre at the moment is in contention
just gained a race position.
for a podium. It depends on what Russell does with. It depends on what Russell does here because he's going to get the DRS off of us. But I've put Gasly on aggressive just to try and defend from the attack. Now Russell is not quite going to get that move around the outside, but this is allowed Vettel to catch back up to the back of Magnussen. So depends. Now let's see if Gasly has got the pace to at least try and close back up to Hamilton. Vettel has got the fastest lap of the race. I would like Gasly to try and close up to Hamilton, but Russell is not going to make this easy. He's not going to make this easy for us as Hamilton gets away a little bit. So now I'm going to have to forgo Vettel a little bit because I want to make sure that Gasly sticks ahead, and I've just realised I've left Vettel on attack without realising it. So he's used up a little bit more tyre there than I would have liked to put him back on to push on the fuel. Meanwhile, Pierre has just done enough to hold off Russell, and Vettel just had a quick look down the inside of Magnussen right there. So that was a cheeky little move from Sebastian. Meanwhile, we're going to put Gasly onto aggressive on the straights. I don't want to use the ERS too much. We'll go overtake and attack with Sebastian. See if he can do anything. Doesn't look likely. He's not really close enough. So we'll go back to neutral, back to standard. Oh, what happened there? Vettel got a little bit brake check there from Magnussen, and he's dropped away out of the DRS range. So a bit dirty there from Magnussen. Not going to lie, that was very underhanded. So now Vettel's got to do it all again. And unfortunately, let's put him back into the clutches of Stroll and Ocon, which is what I do not need. There's a yellow flag at sector 1, which is not involving Gasly.
Yellow ahead.
I know it's just Tsunoda spinning off at turn 1. So go on to defend and aggressive. We want to make sure we don't fall prey to George Russell. Fortunately, though, Russell is still going to make the move, so I'm not going to go too hard on this. But Gasly He's trying to close the door on Russell, but Russell's going to have the line here, unfortunately. Nope, Gasly shoots it round. And unfortunately, Stroll has gotten the move on Vettel, but we're going to take it back right now. Down to aggressive with Pierre. Now back to standard. Meanwhile, there goes Sebastian. He's going to sail clean past Stroll, easy as you like. And Gasly still doing everything in his power to keep that Mercedes at bay. He's doing a good job of it. Meanwhile, Vettel has still got that blooming AlphaTauri that just don't seem to want to go away. So get Vettel on aggressive to block him off. So that will do that. I kind of, I'm a little bit annoyed at what Magnussen did there when he blocked off Sebastian. That's really annoying what happened there, but there's not really much I can do about that. So in the meantime, we'll go aggressive with Gasly.
Yeah.
Just to try and hopefully, that's probably not going to be enough. Yeah, George Russell's going to go right past us around the outside, so let's not fight this too much. There's an inevitability, honestly, at some point that Russell was going to get us, but we're going to sit behind him here. We're going to sit behind him as we go through this section here. Now on to overtake as we come out the corner and attack again. So now, and there's the DRS, the rear wing opens. And Gasly is not going to make this move, as it turns out. So we're just going to go back to neutral. You'll get DRS down the main straight. No point in using overtake here.
Anything I can do?
Only P8.
And I've just noticed it's not Stroll that's got Vettel. It is Max Verstappen who's on the move. Unsurprising, really. I'm not really too disappointed in that. It is Verstappen in the best car on the grid. So, yeah, highest rated driver in the game plus best car. Yeah, that's kind of what you'd expect starting from midfield, the bottom half of the midfield. So, we're not going to fight that one too hard with Sebastian, so long as he sticks with Verstappen. And then maybe he'll get pulled up towards Magnussen and co. That'll kind of be what I'm aiming for here. But at the moment, tyre wear is in question at the moment because we're already down to 75 with Sebastian pretty much, and 79 with Gasly. So now, I'm kind of tempted to just let Gasly, leave Gasly and Vettel to just sit where they are, following these guys. Unless, of course, Gasly decides to take matters into his own hands, which he normally does, and just go for the same move that Russell pulled on him.
Good job.
Force Russell out the long way, take the line, and up back into P3 again.
Looks like Aston Martin
So
just gained a race position.
Russell's probably going to get him back down straight here, most likely, but I'm not overly concerned. Meanwhile, Verstappen is pulling Vettel with him. So I'm not... that's probably the better thing to do, as now Russell, here he goes. He's going to go round the outside. Unless Gasly can force the issue. He's going to run George out wide. And Gasly is really making a good go of this, despite Russell being in the murk. But this is probably going to be it now. Russell's got the DRS. He's going to go down the inside at turn 1. And there goes George back up into P3. But don't worry too much, Pierre. Don't worry too much about it. Still early doors. All you need to do is just stick with him. That's all you need to do. So yeah, I'm going to let the guys. I'm going to leave the guys to do their thing, and then we'll come back later and see how see what we can do for the pit stops. Right, we've just come back on lap 17, and it's been absolute manic so far. Russell's dropped back completely to the point where he's now behind Verstappen. And it's literally just been Russell, Gasly, Alonso and Magnussen all fighting for this P3, while Vettel and Sainz have been closing up to us, along with Perez as well, slowly but surely, which is, unfortunately, as you can see, Alonso's going to get moved there, but Gasly's going to get DRS down the back straight. Fortunately, Vettel has been dropped out of the points because of it, because Lance Bloody Stroll just doesn't seem to want to take no for an answer. And mind you, our tyres are a little bit worse for wear. So I'm actually considering a choice here with Sebastian. So we've got that there. His pit window is in 5 laps, but his tyres have dropped off massively. All of our tyres, well, both of our drivers' tyres have dropped off massively. We're at 45%, 47%. As annoying as this may be, I think I'm going to have to convert one of them to a 2-stop. Because we've lost a lot of tyre wear as opposed to everyone else. Everyone else is like 52, 52, 56. So unfortunately, I think I may have to convert both of them to a 2-stop. Well, that's what I'm going to have to do with Sebastian. He can't go on any longer. He keeps dropping places rapidly. Yeah, if I want to keep up this pace, I've got to drop. I've got to put them onto 2-stop. I can't do anything else. So, as annoying as it is, I haven't really got much of a choice in the matter. So, we're going to bring Sebastian in first. Bring Sebastian in first this lap. And then Gasly, who's still fighting Alonso. Gasly's really making Alonso having to work for this, but he'll get the move done.
Sebastian, pit lane.
As Sebastian comes into the pit lane.
Yeah, confirm. So use pit limiter, pit limiter.
As Gasly's supposed to go until lap 25. He's already on 46% tyre wear, so I don't know how long he's going to make this last, because I don't think he can. I'm going to keep Gasly out for a couple of more laps and then bring him in, because his tyre wear wasn't so bad as Sebastian, but that was my fault for leaving Sebastian on attack for as long as I did. But Vettel is going to be in clean air. He's on fresh mediums. I think this is going to be the better way to go for him. Meanwhile, Gasly's got this really scary looking train behind him of Alonso, Magnussen, Verstappen, Russell, Sainz. That is not the sort of thing you want to be seeing in your rearview mirror when you're trying to drive a Grand Prix. But we'll go back into the background. I think I just saw Perez getting his nose in. He has, but Stroll's going to fight that one off, as opposed to Sainz, who's still stuck behind Russell, who in turn is still stuck behind Verstappen, who's probably getting very annoyed that he's staring at the back of a car that he really shouldn't be having too many issues with. But because we're all in this DRS train, as here comes Alonso now, down the inside of Gasly. Not worried about that. So now, Gasly is going to drop back to 4th, but that's fine. I know it's frustrating, Pierre, but we're only at the start of the race at the moment. So now Gasly's going to tuck in behind Alonso.
That's a good overtake.
But at the end of this lap, Gasly will be coming in for his own set of medium tyres.
Box.
We're going to be going 2-stop with our guys. Unfortunately, I can't really do much else about that. The tyre wear was just a lot horrific compared to everyone else. So Vettel's already caught up to the back of Hulkenberg, so this will be a slam dunk down the back straight for Vettel when he gets there. Meanwhile, for Pierre, he's going to chase Alonso all the way down the back straight himself. Is he going to think about a move around the outside? Alonso's not going to give him an awful lot of room and just completely shuts him out. Meanwhile, let's get Sebastian on the move. Getting past Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg shuts the door on one side, so Sebastian switches back to the other. And predictably, this is just going to be a nuisance now. Because now Hulkenberg is just going to make this even more difficult than it needs to be. For absolutely no reason. So, go on to overtake now. On to attack. Make sure Sebastian gets this move done this time. Which he should do down this back straight. Come on, Sebastian. Make the move. Of course you're not. Of course you're not. Why would you make the move when I absolutely need you to? So unnecessarily difficult. It's only Hulkenberg and a Haas. So now, again, just jars to a stop. And now he's fallen out of DRS range. Are you actually taking... so annoying. It's an issue you shouldn't be having, Sebastian. It's just Hulkenberg in a Haas. And the Haas is infinitely worse than us. He's still in the DRS range at least, but it's just unbelievably annoying. The car that Vettel should be easily overtaking, he just can't seem to do anything about. He just sits there and stares at it. So, overtake, attack. Needs to get Vettel past this Haas, providing he actually does what he's supposed to do. There we go. Put him back on standard. And there we go. Clean round the Haas and up into what is only P17. But it's going to be a quiet... This is the quiet period for us now, guys. We are basically just running around like this in clean air until everyone pits. So we'll come back a little bit later and see how things go. All right, a few laps later, and Gasly has already caught up to the back of these guys. He's caught up to the back of Zhou and Norris. Hamilton's already made his stop, and he's come out quite a ways ahead. So, unfortunately, that's... yeah, Hamilton was clearly the faster of the two Mercs. Leclerc is now in. And we've got Verstappen, Alonso, Russell and Sainz, who are on hards going for a while. And Gasly is going to go for two for the price of one here. As he goes past Zhou and straight round the outside of Norris, who goes really slow there. I don't know what happened there with Norris, but Zhou goes into the pit lane. But we got two for the price of one for Gasly. So he's definitely not hanging around.
Let's have a look.
As we watch this, I don't know what happened there. We'll watch it from this above camera. Gasly got... oh, I wonder if Norris... Because Zhou came into the pit, so I wonder if Norris was supposed to come in, but Gasly took his line away from him.
The team watching on.
So I wonder if that's what happened. Because Gasly was on the line that was originally supposed to be for Norris. That's kept him out a lap longer than what he would have liked. I don't know. We'll have to... I'm not complaining. I mean, Gasly pulled off a really good move anyway, so As for Sebastian, he has actually gotten ahead of Magnussen, as it turns out. Magnussen's pitted onto the hards, but he's going into the end of the race. We are not. We've still got a lot of ground to cover before we can think about that. So, ideally, I need to get Vettel to push as hard as he can and build up a reasonable enough gap to where he can still come out within range of... Magnussen was a ways ahead of him, but that was via Magnussen's dirty driving, unfortunately. So now... Oh, Alonso and Verstappen have pitted. Hold on. They started on the hards. They started on the hards. Gasly's going to get past both of them. So hang on a minute. What on earth has happened there? I thought Verstappen and Alonso started on the hards. They have done. Are they doing a two-stop? Okay, I don't feel so bad about this now if Alonso and Verstappen are two-stopping. But now, Gasly's right on the back of Ricciardo now.
Car in the wall.
And it's, oh, no, I just saw it there.
So let's look at this.
Perez
Sergio Perez.
has crashed on the exit of this corner here that we just went
What a
past.
nasty crash there.
He's gone backwards into the wall. There's no safety car yet, but
Use overtake.
we're out of the yellow flag zone, and here goes Gasly. Is he going to get round the outside of Ricciardo? Ricciardo want him to, but oh no, Ricciardo's... oh no, he's going to go down. He switched it back to the inside, and he's done it. Gasly from right to left has gotten the line and is now up into P8. Like I said, he's not wasting any time messing around with these overtakes. He's getting them done.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They
And he's
picked
back
up
to
a
where he
place.
was.
Let's take a look at the replay.
Only 2.5 seconds behind Hamilton. We'll watch it again from this angle here. Scoots it down the inside. This is the same angle we saw, but scoots it down the inside
They clear it.
and had enough grip on those fresh tyres to make that move.
Back in the garage.
So Gasly's on a roll at the moment, because I don't think Ricciardo's pitted. No, he's still on 40. He's still on the set of mediums he started on. Meanwhile, Hamilton is being held up a treat by Bottas, and now Sainz and Stroll are in. Okay, all of a sudden now, I think everyone is converting to a two-stop because of the tyre wear. So all of a sudden, I don't feel so bad about this decision now. As Gasly now climbs his way back up to P5, but I know for a fact, look, as you can see, Ocon and Russell have still yet to stop. And Vettel has now worked his way back up to P7 because he's just gone down the inside of Fernando Alonso. Hold on a minute here. Vettel has worked his way back into a hell of a position here. Great stuff from Sebastian, reigniting his old rivalry with Fernando Alonso.
We can take a look now.
And there you go, into turn one. Vettel must have gotten really close to Alonso when he came out the pit lane. And look at that. Scenes from 2014 as these guys duked it out at Silverstone.
So easy.
Two different teams, but they're still going to fight each other tooth and nail. The old guard. Let those guys get on with their business. I'm not going to interfere in that. Gasly, meanwhile, he's going to... Sebastian's just said the tyres are getting a little bit warm. That's probably wise. So I'm going to make the decision now. If they're getting warm, I'm going to put them both on light just to protect their tyres a little bit. And we'll see how that goes. But for now, yeah, we've worked our way into a hell of a position. Making that early call for the two-stop was definitely the right way to go because everyone else has just converted to it. The tyre wear is really not setting with these guys well, and Hamilton's already caught Ocon, so we're not even far behind those guys. So now we've got Verstappen, Vettel, who's now still fighting Alonso. Alonso's going to get past him here fairly easily, but that's understandable as Russell is now in, and that means Ocon No, Ocon carries on. Big mistake on all honesty. Everyone's converted to the two-stop. Everyone's converted to the two-stop, so trying to stick it out there longer than necessary. You're going to lose out as Russell has now fallen behind Vettel and Magnussen. Vettel's the biggest gainer here. He's worked his way back up from P11 to P7, where he was originally. So that's worked out a treat there. We are going to be making an early stop again. Around lap 32, I would imagine this would be. We'll have to see. Vettel will be coming in first. And they'll both be going on to hard tyres to the end, because there's no way, if the mediums are running out this quickly, there's no way that the softs are going to last that long. So, hopefully, though, being on light, the tyres will be a little bit easier to manage. Verstappen's going to catch us. That's a given. Verstappen's going to catch Gasly no matter what. I can't do anything about that. In the meantime, though, Gasly, I think, has just worked his way inside DRS range of Ocon, so that will help us out a little bit. If we could put Ocon between ourselves and Verstappen, although saying that, Ocon might be coming in this lap anyway, so it won't really matter too much. So, although Gasly's still not shy about thinking about the move, but I'm pretty certain. No, Ocon stays out. What, Alpine are really throwing this one away with Ocon, because there's no way he's taking those tyres any longer. And as you can see, Gasly is just going to ease his way down the inside. Ocon, with no tyres to defend himself,
This is good.
is just going to be a sitting target. So that's Ocon done and dusted.
Aston Martin with a great play.
Vettel, meanwhile, he's just sitting back and observing Alonso. Kind of really what I want him to do, to be honest. I don't really... Alonso's got the fresher tyres at the moment, so I don't think pushing them any harder than necessary is really the way to go about it, particularly if he's just going to sit and get DRS off Alonso. Alonso's just going to pull him along no matter what. So I'm perfectly content with that. Gasly, meanwhile, is still trying to defend himself from Ocon, and this has allowed Verstappen to get into the mix as well. So Verstappen, having started from P13, I believe he was. He was either P12 or P13. He was down in that region. Has already worked his way up to P5. So no doubt he's going to be in contention for a podium. That's pretty much going to be a guarantee. It's going to be Leclerc, Hamilton and Verstappen on the podium, providing anything doesn't happen to them. So realistically, with Gasly, we're fighting for P4. And then Sebastian will be... there we go. Ocon's finally pulled the trigger and finally realised the futility of staying out. So now, Gasly's up to P3, but I am not going to fight Verstappen too hard on this one. Because he is in a much quicker car than us. So there's no real point in putting up this kind of resistance. So I'm going to go back to balanced.
Safe fuel, safe fuel.
And say it conserve his fuel a little bit. And that'll also give Verstappen the incentive to go past. Down the back straight. So I'm hoping, because they're on... Vettel's just ticked over to 61% on his tyres. Meanwhile, Pierre's still got 66, but I know Pierre's going to be coming in a couple of laps after Vettel does. So whenever I pull the trigger with Vettel, 2 laps later is when Gasly will come in. So I'm going to leave the guys to it for the moment. I'm going to just ensure that Verstappen, sorry, I keep too many VEs in the surname. But yep, there we go. There goes for Verstappen. So I'm quite happy to leave these guys doing what they're doing now, and then come back when we need to call Vettel in for his pit stop. Okay, just coming up to, we're just on that 37 now. I'm going to be calling in Sebastian because his pace has just dropped off a cliff right now. So, as you can see, it says soft tyres 22 laps, but that is in no way, shape or form going to happen. So we're going to go onto the hard tyres, and we're going to allow both of them to lean on these tyres a little bit more than all the others.
Okay, box.
So Sebastian's going to come in at the end of this lap. So that'll give us incentive to put him on conserve with his fuel.
All okay on fuel, so you can do what you want for speed.
Meanwhile, Gasly has he's gone down to 5th because unfortunately Sainz finally cleared his traffic and has gotten back up into P4. And now Gasly is sandwiched in between him and Alonso because again purely the tyre wear difference, the tyre life difference. I think Alonso is on. Alonso's got like 20% more tyre life than what we do with Gasly, but Gasly's going to go past for a couple of more laps. Sebastian's coming in at the end of this lap, and then it's literally just going to be a run to the line for both of them. So
Pit lane.
Vettel is now in the pit lane.
Copy that.
Use pit limiter.
He comes into the pits now. Gasly, meanwhile, is still got Alonso for company. He's going to do. Gasly's going to do this lap, the next lap, and then he's going to do this lap, and then he'll box on the next lap. So Vettel now is going to come out the pits. 30 seconds in pit lane with a 2.6 stop. Pretty standard. Now we're going to put him back on to balanced.
You can stop, lift and coast.
Copy that.
Gasly, meanwhile, doing a really good job actually to still try and hold up Fernando Alonso. It is allowing Russell to come back into it as well, unfortunately. Russell and Magnussen are a little ways back. But I am pretty confident that some of these guys are going to be stopping again. Because they converted really early to a 2-stop. They converted really late to a 2-stop, unlike us. So, at the moment, as we just noticed, Alonso has now gotten past Gasly. So, we're going to wait for Gasly to cross the line. And then now
Just advanced.
is the call to bring Gasly in for the hard tyres.
Box.
And now it's just a case of seeing how things go, because I know some of these guys are going to stop again, most likely for the soft tyres, but unfortunately we don't have that luxury. We didn't go on to the hards now and then go to the softs at the end. But it is what it is. Can't really complain too much, considering how well these guys have actually driven.
Yeah.
We'll let Gasly have one more crack at Alonso,
Copy.
if he can get close enough, which I highly doubt he will. But
Yeah, take it easy.
mind you, I say that, he's just gone for a dive down the inside of Fernando Alonso. Alonso, though, is probably going to force him out wide. Yep. It was a good attack from Gasly, but
Doing a good job, keep pushing.
we'll put it back onto neutral.
Save fuel.
We'll conserve the fuel a little bit as we come into the pits. And then Vettel back down here in P17 again. Quite a ways behind Perez, but I am pretty sure that a lot of these guys have got to stop again anyway, so I'm not overly concerned about that.
Yeah, in the box.
Copy.
As Pierre comes into the pit lane, as Russell goes past, Magnussen, Bottas and Stroll are going to go past. Here comes Ocon, Ricciardo, Norris, Zhou and Albon. They're all going to come past. Perez as well. So here's there's Sebastian. As Gasly comes out the pit lane. He's going to come out. Oh, he's come out just ahead of Guan Yu Zhou. So that's actually not too bad of a stop, that. So let's get Gasly back on to push as he comes out the pits. He's on a fresh set of tyres now, so he's got all the... he's got a little bit more freedom to use them a little bit harder this time. We've still got a lot of fuel as well, so that's not too bad. So Gasly maintains P13, but like I said, a lot of the other guys have got to stop again. Namely, the two McLarens in front. Ocon's got to stop again because he ain't taking those tyres. He ain't taking those tyres 17 more laps. Neither is Stroll or Bottas. Magnussen questionable. All these guys, a lot of these guys up front are going to have to stop again because they can't do it. They can't manage that. Meanwhile, Gasly is back into DRS range of Norris already. So let's see if we can get him on overtake.
Use overtake.
As he goes round, he's going to go for the move around the outside from the looks of it and clean past him before he gets to the corner. So Gasly, again, not wasting any time making the moves. As there goes Norris is into the pit, so I called it. Norris has pitted.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a
And this is now going to open the doors for us because here comes Vettel. He's going to get past Norris in the pit lane. So it's just a case of when, not if, everyone else pits. We're going to put... Sebastian's been on balance for a little while, so we can afford to put him back onto pushing. Getting back up in the mix. But now, Gasly is only 1.3 behind Ricciardo, but their tyres are wearing out. So let's skip ahead and see how things stack up. Right, we just cut through to that 43. It just come up with Vettel saying something about running wide at turn 6.
Taking a look again, it involves
So
Sebastian
he went off a little bit wide there. He didn't slow him up too much, but need to be a little bit careful of that. And as I said, people have come into the pit lane. So Ocon is still the only one that hasn't pit. And Vettel, he's down here. Stroll and Bottas have already pitted and come out ahead of him, so there's not really much we can do about that. As well as Alonso and Russell, but I'm hoping that Vettel, he's not too far behind Bottas. He's 3 seconds. That may be. He should hopefully get up amongst these guys at least, I hope, but it's going to be touch and go. Meanwhile, Gasly back up into P7. Got several guys in front that's probably still got to make another stop. Meanwhile, Gasly not waiting around again, round the outside of Esteban Ocon, and is back up into P6. Pierre Gasly, again, not wasting any time making these moves, just going straight for it. He's got the tyres to do it, so why not? So now he's 4.8 behind Sainz, but I'm not too sure. Sainz has already pitched, so he's going to be fine until the end of the race. So it's all a question of this man, Kevin Magnussen. Is he going to stop again? I think he has to. Ocon and Zhou have got to stop again. Albon's going to stop again. Perez has got to stop again. So that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4. That should... may get Vettel back up into P11, maybe, but again, it depends on how quick he can go to make the difference. Gasly, meanwhile, has cleared Ocon. He's already on the way, already going to be on his way up the road, so it won't be too long before those guys come in. So we'll have to see how things go. And here we are, only a few laps later, and we've already caught up to the back of him. Russell is ahead of us, but I don't really care, because we're now within striking distance of both of them. If Gasly... Russell goes from left to right, and he's going to go around the outside of Magnussen, and Gasly is going to follow him through on the outside of Magnussen. Just needs to poke his nose in, which he does, and Magnussen is done and dusted. So now, as we follow Russell through here. We'll get on overtake mode to catch back up to him. Magnussen's tyres have let him down. The one stop didn't work out. Didn't think it would. So now it's just a case of for Gasly to try to stick with Russell. Gasly thought about a cheeky look down the inside there of the hairpin. Now we come out the final left-right kink. And Gasly's dropped off a little bit there from Russell. That's a little bit worrying and concerning. So, kind of need Gasly to shape up a little bit if we want to keep up with the Mercedes. Meanwhile, Sebastian, running on his own little world, is being hunted down by Ocon and the two McLarens. So that's a little bit of a concern there. Meanwhile, Gasly is still in the DRS zone of Russell. So let's see if we can just catch him back up again. Go back to neutral here as we go into the corner. As we go through this stadium section. Up around here, Perez has already pit. He's dropped back behind Vettel as well. So overtake mode, attack. We're right up close to Russell. This is the closest we've gotten so far on these old set of tyres. I don't think Vettel's close enough to make the move. No, he's going to go for it. He's having a look, and he's down the inside. Come on, Sebastian. He's going to force Russell out the long way. And he's got it. He's back up into P5. Gasly, sorry, not Vettel. But we've both gotten away from Magnussen. Magnussen's tyres have dropped off massively. But now Gasly is fully fighting Russell for this P5. Meanwhile, Vettel has got his own bit of company in the form of two orange McLarens and an Alpine of Ocon. So, this is going to be a bit of an ask for Vettel with all these guys behind him. Depends as well, because Albon and Zhou, their tyres have dropped off incredibly badly. They're now onto the 38 region. So, is Vettel going to be do just enough to hold these guys off in order to catch up? He's 5.1 behind Albon, though. And Gasly's just dropped behind Russell again.
Mercedes moved up a place.
So, here we go. Here we go again. Overtake and attack.
Okay.
Gasly's a little way back again, but he was able to pull off the move last time. Russell, more than acutely aware of it, goes to the outside. Gasly, completely ignoring Russell's defence, is going to go down the inside anyway and back up into P5. Gasly is really not having anything of George Russell again. These two have been glued together throughout the first 5 races of this season. It's been absolutely fantastic to watch these two race each other. Very respectful as well. Neither of them have actually had any problems, apart from Gasly spinning himself out in Jeddah. But the racing has been close, but respectful at the same time. So that's definitely good signs for the future of the sport, if that's the case. So we're going to put Gasly on the push and burn a little bit of his fuel. I'm going to try and stick with Gasly until the end as best as I can, because I want him to be in prime position again to defend from Russell down into the stadium section. We'll go on to harvest through the stadium section, just protect the ERS a little bit. Vettel, meanwhile, on the left-hand side, has got the gap down to 3.9 to Albon. But I don't think it's going to be enough, in all honesty. Back to neutral on the exit. So we'll go aggressive as well on the defence with Gasly. I don't know if it's going to make much of a difference.
We think we can lean on the tyres more.
Maybe. Gasly looks like he's just going to keep that into the hairpin. And does well as that. Does it as well.
Copy.
He does it very well, sorry. But penultimate lap now. Russell is going to be, this is going to be it to the line for these two. These two are going to be fighting each other tooth and nail. All the way to the end of this race. Vettel, meanwhile, he's just been caught by Ricciardo. He's going to go down the inside. Yeah, the strategy... See, if Vettel didn't get forced out the way he did by Magnussen, this would be so much closer. But he's still going to come back at Ricciardo. He's not letting this one go, Vettel. He's still got the fight in him. And he's now going to go side by side and back up into P12. And they're now 2.8 behind Albon. But these two fighting each other are really not helping the cause. And there goes Russell. Back round the outside.
Still a lot to play for.
Back around the outside of Gasly. Harvest through this section a little bit. Last lap for Leclerc. Verstappen has done really well to get back up into second as well, I should point out.
Use overtake.
So now we've harvested a little bit. Overtake mode, attack down the back straight.
Anything you can make.
I don't think Gasly's close enough though. So we're going to ease off. Go on the harvest. No, Gasly's going to go for the move right outside. Gasly's really, really taking it to George Russell. He's really not letting Russell have his way, but I think that might be it there, actually. No, Gasly's got the DRS again and closes right up. So we're going to go on the harvest. We're going to go on the harvest with the thing, but we're going to go fully aggressive on the tyres. We've got plenty of tyres now, so let's use them. We're going to do the same with Vettel, aggressive on the tyres.
We can push more.
Okay.
Going to harvest all the way through here.
To push.
And we're going to go onto neutral. Down the back straight for Pierre Gasly. We've saved up a lot of ERS, so we should be able to protect ourselves. If anything else. Gasly, is he going to go for the move? No, he switches. Oh, no, he is. He switches back. He's gone from right to left. Russell's still, he's going to have the inside for this next corner. That's going to force Gasly out just a little bit. Gasly, nope, keeps his nose in still. As Charles Leclerc crosses the line to win the Miami Grand Prix. But now Gasly is closer than ever to Russell. Gone overtake mode and attack down this back straight. As Russell tries to defend his line. Gasly, he's not quite going to make the move. No. That is unfortunate. Gasly couldn't quite get that move at the end. But it's still P6 for Pierre Gasly as he comes across the line. Best of the rest. Can't really complain about that. Sebastian, dump all the ERS to protect yourself, mate. You did the best you could.
Tough day. Take the pickup.
And all Vettel very nearly had a look down the outside of Albon. He caught Albon right at the line. He caught Albon right at the very last, lap, but he just couldn't quite make it.
Copy.
That's the checkered flag. P12 for Sebastian.
Sorry, guys. Tough day.
Take all the pickup you can.
Not really a tough day for Sebastian. Well, it was a tough day. He got shunted out by Magnussen, which is... I'm surprised Magnussen really should have gotten a penalty for that, to be honest, when he shunted out Vettel the way he did, because otherwise Vettel would be up there with Bottas, I believe, and he would have scored points as well. But that's the end of the race. Leclerc wins the Miami Grand Prix. 2 races in a row now for the Monegasque, the defending world champion. Brilliant drive from Verstappen, P13 up to P2 in the Red Bull. And then it was Carlos Sainz who got P3, so he made up a... Gasly made up some ground as well into P6. But yeah, there's the race results. So it was actually P12 Max Verstappen started, sorry, and P13 for Carlos Sainz. They made up the most and got onto the podium ahead of Hamilton, Russell, Gasly, Magnussen, Stroll, Bottas and Zhou rounding out the top 10. That helps us as well massively in the constructors because neither Alpine scored. Ocon got put onto a really silly strategy and Alonso had a crash in the stadium section. But yeah, with Magnussen, very annoyed with Magnussen. Like I said, if he hadn't shoved out Vettel, I maintain he would have been up here with Stroll and Bottas in the points. But I can't do much about that. In the Drivers' Championship, Max Verstappen still leads the way. He manages to limit the damage on what could have happened to him. But Leclerc's closed up to 9 points behind him. Sergio Perez drops down to P3 in the championship after his shambles of a race. He didn't make up nearly the amount of positions that Verstappen and Sainz did. Sainz, hopefully with that this run of podiums that he's gotten in the last 2 races, will be able to get his championship up and running. He's 20 points behind Perez though, so he's still got a lot of work to do. Hamilton, P5 in the championship. Russell tried to keep him hot, tried to get him at the line, but it just wasn't enough, and he moves ahead of Gasly in the championship by 1 point. So these two are going to be stuck together for the foreseeable future. Bottas, Alonso and Norris round out the top 10, with Sebastian dropping a little bit to Guan Yu Zhou now, because Guan Yu Zhou got the final point of this race. In the constructors, there, as you can see, Mercedes, while they pull away from us, we get ahead of Alpine. So this is going to be our fight with Alpine, Alfa Romeo and McLaren for P4. So hopefully, if we can get that done, that'll be an ideal scenario to find ourselves in. But all in all, really good day, really good racing on run. The 2-stop was definitely the correct decision to make, because there's no way those tyres were going to last as long as they did in the. No way those tyres were going to last as long as they did for the 1-stop. As you can see in Magnussen, we caught up to him so quickly, and Vettel actually caught Albon as well at the line, but it just wasn't enough time, unfortunately. But there we have incoming of 5.7 million from the sponsors. That's because we completed the qualifying hot streak. So we've got a little bit of extra cash to play with for the next episode, with potential, maybe not so much upgrades to the car, but we may have a look at some things for the facilities potentially. We've also got a development point for Gasly as well. So Gasly is starting to come into his own now. But yeah, for definite, we're solid race all in all. We were best of the rest with Gasly, running as high as P3 at one point, but unfortunately the overline pace of the cars showed through with Vettel and not Vettel. I keep getting those two mixed up. Verstappen and Sainz making their way from the midfield all the way up to the podium. So that is that's the way things are at the moment in regards to the car. But for now, guys, if you did enjoy the episode, do feel free to leave a like and a comment. It really does help with the algorithm, and your feedback is always appreciated. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss another video. I'm David Clayton of KZR Racing, and we will see you next time for round number 6 at the Spanish Grand Prix. Goodbye.